Listeners' discretion is advised. As we do go into detail that can be graphic for a certain audience, so listeners' discretion is advised. Let's kick off this episode. Todd, tell us what you got.
Okay, well, my story tonight is called 77 Minutes of Hell.
Ooh. Are they going to take 77 minutes of story time?
It may.
Dang.
Yeah, this one's a little bit longer than the other stories, so just bear with me on this one.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. Yeah, hold on to your butts. Well, we're going to start off talking about something that just about everybody in the world knows about, unless you're in the deep, African Serengeti, or maybe you're somewhere stuck as a villager that's never ventured out of the Amazon somewhere that something that is almost as recognizable as the Bible. And I hate saying that, and it's not going to be like, don't take that out of context, but think about it. I mean, everyone knows of the Bible, and everybody knows basically of McDonald's, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
McDonald's started in San Bernardino, a little hole in the wall here in California, and it blossomed to all over the freaking world. All over. And you can't go anywhere without knowing what a Big Mac is, what a Happy Meal is. It's just everywhere. So it's worldwide. And basically that's what's going to play into our story tonight. Everyone's had a relationship with McDonald's in some way or shape or form, whether they had a birthday party there growing up, you had fun playing in the kids area, your first time eating a ice cream cone from McDonald's, a fast food restaurant, that was probably the first restaurant that had shakes and ice cream cones and toys, like legit toys. When I was growing up, they had Tonka toys, they had Hot Wheels, they even gave away VHSs of when the Ninja Turtles were popular. They actually gave those away in Happy Meal.
I remember.
Yeah, so I mean, you had a bit.
I never got a Happy Meal as a kid. Okay.
What?
Never.
Shockingly.
Wow.
I resented that because we were children. We wanted a Happy Meal, but that's not what would happen. We would go and my dad would order food for everybody, whatever he ordered. You didn't have really a choice. Mm-hmm. Now, as a grown person who struggles sometimes financially, it makes sense. Like, now I get it. The man was the only one working. His wife was always sick. Obviously, my mom's always had health problems. And he had to raise 4 kids on his budget, have a place to live, have food on the table. So I get it. It wasn't easy for him to just buy everybody individually what they wanted.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of get what you can get, right? Back then, They were like, what, 39, 49-cent cheeseburgers and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, 29 cents hamburger on Wednesdays. Yep.
And you want to know how ghetto my school was, my elementary school? We took a freaking field trip to a McDonald's.
We did too.
See, there you go.
Okay, my field trip was better. We went to Bullwinkle when it was still there.
Oh wow!
You never went to Bullwinkle?
I grew up in South Central.
Oh my God, it was the cutest place.
I heard
they took us through a tour in the kitchen. They put horns on us.
Yeah.
At least you got horns. We just went downstairs. They showed us a tour of where they keep the meat. And my mom swears.
Oh, yeah.
My mom swears it was kangaroo meat back then. She's like, it can't be any real meat because it doesn't fry up right. And I'm like, well, they don't fry it. I saw they microwave it. You know what I mean? They put them in those weird yellow trays. But yeah, I mean, we got to see McDonald's from the inside out, and it was kind of weird because I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat here anymore as a kid. And then I'm like, the next day, my mom's like, you want a Happy Meal? Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff was addicting, and over the years during the 70s and 80s, that the McDonald's food was not made healthy at all. Even the 90s, like the early 2000s, even they started to finally get away from the oversaturated food, the fat. They were putting sugar in their buns to get you to eat more. So a lot of people were having heart failure, diabetes. I mean, there's been a great amount of memes about Ronald McDonald being a real, super villain because responsible for a lot of deaths due to the food and stuff.
He always creeped me out.
Yeah, I mean, and this goes back to the day too. We're going to travel back to around the time of 1975. So this is going to be a time period where this is at the height of McDonald's popularity. I think with people going to their restaurants and having what do you call it? The Hamburglar. I mean, the toy, all the stuff was at its height. You know, kids went there to have birthday parties. I mean, it was a place to go at one point because they were exploding all over the nation and the world. So, but before we get into that, let's talk about our main person of focus tonight, and that would be the one James Huberty.
Puberty. He was going through puberty.
Yeah, I bet you he got that a lot.
Oh, I bet he did.
Hey, James Puberty.
Oh, I bet he did.
Mm-hmm. He was born in Canton, Ohio in 1942, October 11th to be exact. Mm-hmm. When Huberty was 3 years old, he contracted polio, which is a devastating thing for your motor skills and your being able to walk, jacks with your legs and things like that. He suffered through this to about 11 or 12, which caused him permanent walking disability. So he had trouble walking, and his motor skills sometimes would be off, like he didn't have strength in his legs sometimes. But in the early 1950s, his father bought a farm in Pennsylvania, Amish country, which the Amish are those Bible people that really don't get into any kind of technology. They still have the horse and buggy. Their idea of a fun time is not to go to Florida South Beach, but to build a barn raisins.
Yep.
Let's have a good old fashioned barn raisin.
And leave them alone.
Yeah, just saying. Let's just say their women are natural with beards and hairy legs.
Stop it.
Just saying. Kind of cover up everything. Don't show anything.
Stop it.
Yeah. Let's see. So his James's mom wasn't liking that though. She got this would cause problems as he was a child, and before Huberty hit puberty. His mother was deep into the Baptist religion. She would try to study with that, and she would reject the Amish lifestyle that the father wanted. The father really wanted to get into the whole horse and buggy thing and resist technology, and she's like, no, I don't think so. So he went back and forth, and that led to a lot of arguments in the household. But James is a little different. He didn't experience or show any kind of weaknesses in school, any kind of like problems. He, however, would go out with his father hunting a lot, and so he did learn how to use a gun pretty early, and he would kill animals, but to eat them, not to destroy them, or to like other killers play with them.
Fun.
Yeah, exactly. In 1962, because again, we don't have much of his high school or junior high time, but in 1962, at the age of 20, Huberty enrolled in Jesuit Community College, where he earned a degree in sociology, which is kind of weird when you find out what happens later on, but this is the sociology of development of structure and functioning of the human society in general, how it relates to each other, and also the basic study of social problems, and dealing with the research of mass media, the environment, racism, gender issues, class deviance, and social control. So all the things that are going on right now. He was
pretty much.
Yeah. So he was well ahead of his time at that. He had a degree.
He was SJW.
Exactly. He was understanding SJWs at the same time. So, yeah. So with all these credentials with his degree, you would think he would get a job in, social justice or some sort of form of government, right?
Yes.
What job do you think he went for and got?
Well, being that we were talking about McDonald's, I'm going to say he worked at McDonald's.
No. Gabby?
I don't think it has to do with what he studied, so I'm going to think maybe police.
No, you can kind of call that close, but he actually went way off of the reservation, so to speak, as far as what you would think he would be into. And if you guys would have nailed this, believe me, I would never doubt you on anything you said ever again. But he literally went out and got his license to be a mortician.
What the heck?
Was he talking like this at the end of the show?
He's like, I'm gonna be an undertaker.
Oh yes, there'll be a demo in Stone
Wow.
Mountain, Georgia.
I didn't expect that one.
He followed Maddie's advice and went and was an undertaker for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the hell does his career have to do with mortician?
I don't know what social justice has to do with that, but
Hey man, some dead people can be scary, bro. I'm just saying.
I guess. But it's there in school before he got his license to be an undertaker. He met and married his wife, Etna. So keep her in mind. Yeah, Etna.
Etna Mole.
That's such an older name, too.
It is.
They had 2 daughters, by the way, quickly after their marriage, Celia and Cassandra.
Okay.
So the family settled in Macedonia, Ohio. And James worked as an undertaker at the Don Williams Funeral Home in 1971 at 29 years old. He got his job there and was doing really good.
Nice.
The Huberty family was forced, though, to relocate back to Canton, however, when their house in Macedonia was set ablaze. Now, there's no details on how the fire started, who did it, or if it was accident or sabotage of some sort, but they lost their home that they built up for only 2 years there in that small town.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'd be suspicious about this.
Pretty much. Now keep this in mind too as we move forward in the story. Undertakers, I don't know if you've ever met one. I've met one when I would drop off supplies over at the Forest Lawn Mortuary. Those people that work with the bodies, that view dead bodies, whether they're natural cause, whether they're car accidents, fire, gunshots, whatever, they tend to be very robotic when it comes to dead bodies and humans in general. Like, they're very cold. Like, they don't look at people the same way after working for even a brief amount of time to a long period of time with dead bodies. So keep that in mind moving forward.
Okay. That's going to be a clue.
It's going to be on the test, the quiz afterwards. No. So yeah, like, nothing really shocks these people. They tend to seen mostly the worst acts of human behavior on people's bodies, or just death in general. And it's like nothing else. They just work with it, you just move ahead.
It makes sense, though, because that's your job. And if you let it affect you, then you can't do your job.
That's true.
So you got to have some form of, like, wall over your heart to make sure that you focus on what you have to do without it affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you kind of like become cold to certain things, Doesn't really bother you. So as time moves on, Huberty and his wife back over there in Canton start having some issues inside the house. More arguments back and forth, to where the police were called on several occasions, and they had physical altercations to where the state came in and took the kids for a little while.
Oh, dang.
Until they can go to classes and prove that they're not going to beat each other up. So,
dang.
He was really the Undertaker then.
Oh yeah. And this wasn't just on him. So Edna, at this time, when they get the kids back later in that year, Celia was going to school and getting bullied, and she wanted to go to her teachers and tell them that it needs to stop. Well, Edna told her daughter, she's like, here, pick up a brick, take this this hammer, do something. If you can't hit her, then you beat her.
Sure.
She was telling her to use force and weapons. Like, take this to school. Handle your business, girl.
Handle your business.
I mean,
hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, you know what? I wouldn't have gone that extreme, but I ain't mad at her.
I don't know. My kids were getting bullied. I definitely, if nobody's doing anything about it, hey, I've told my kids, nobody's helping you and you getting bullied, you're going to do it right back.
Yeah, I would say use fist though. I wouldn't say use.
Yeah, I would say use fist though. Like I said, but
I mean, yeah, she was preparing her to defend herself, but damn, that was a little extreme.
I mean, if she's getting jumped, all bets are off. If she's getting jumped.
That's true. Yeah. When you're getting jumped, it's like, yeah, I agree with Matt all the way. I agree.
I agree. You know what? I just thought of stop it, man.
Matt was right.
I didn't get it at first.
He's like, is that the Undertaker?
I did too. That's why I did the voice and I thought about it. It's like, you're so disrespectful, Todd.
He's just saying what Matt said.
I'm just saying, he's so disrespectful because he's not.
I'm just agreeing with the man. So if you think that behavior was a little weird by Etna, well, you'll see this is another weird thing. Now, you know how annoying it is when you go into a store. I'm sure it's happened to everyone out there where you go to a shelf and you're about to get something, you kind of second thought and you're all, I don't know if that fits in the budget, or I don't know if we need that 2 liter of soda. But then the moment you say, okay, let me grab it, someone grabs it right in front of you.
Yep.
And they take it, then it's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I bet you none of us said, well, you know what? You took that last 2 liter and then they pull out a 9mm from their purse and threaten the person.
I mean, nowadays.
I mean, last night I went to go get some horchata. My boy got the last one, and I felt some type of way, man. Like, man, you gonna drink that whole thing?
But did you have a 9mm in your purse, though? Was it ready?
No, sir. I don't have a purse, and I didn't have a 9mm.
You carried a purse. You had a problem.
You know what I'm saying? I don't carry a purse, sir. I'm not one of them.
This is California, by the way, so anything's possible.
Anything is possible. Not for me.
But anyway, she pulled a 9mm out of her purse and threatened the woman. So she was
over a 2 liter soda?
I don't know what it was. I'm just using 2 liter as
okay. Oh, my bad.
But it was the last thing on the shelf. Doesn't say, but she was arrested, but let out like right away. She was, bailed out, whatever.
Of course.
Wait, This is a mom?
Yeah, this is a mother. Yeah, so this is a kind of stuff that was happening in Canton, Ohio. And then at this time too, James would buy a few guns for himself. He liked to do target practice. And being rural Ohio, there's no one's going to trip about shooting late night or during the day. So stuff like that happened. Mm-hmm. Now around 1979, 1980. The family would move or make a dramatic move from Ohio to Southern California, to the small town of San Ysidro, California, which is just south of San Diego, California, which is at the southern tip of California,
at the border,
leading into Mexico. Correct. It is a border town. So let me give you a quick background on San Ysidro. It's a place where this whole thing takes place. It's mainly a border town, has a population of about 28,000. Back then it was 21,000, mostly a blue-collar, hardworking city where the population is about 60% or more Hispanic, about 30% or less white, and about 10% other. Yeah. And so when the Huberty family would move there, he would get a job as a welder, and he would also get involved with the union. So it was a good-paying job. Although they traveled from Canton to Southern California, the domestic violence did not stop. So there was a few times where James went to work with black and blue eyes, cuts on his forehead. Etna had her jaw broken when she.
What?
Yeah. He beat her so hard it broke her jaw. So
damn, they really got aggressive with each other.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
No kidding, man. They should have just kept it to sexy time, but no, it went outside of that. So Etna figured out a way to calm him down, though, by reading tarot cards, which is those spirit cards or whatever.
Call me now for your psychic reading.
What was her name again, Matt?
Miss Cleo.
There you go, Miss Cleo. Just call the 1-800 number.
Miss Cleo, call me now for your tarot reading. I mean, every morning we used to watch this.
What don't you know? Jeez.
Hey, man. Jack of all trades.
He's like, if you want useless information.
Oh my goodness.
So those tarot cards are, if you pick up certain cards, how it goes is, kind of like gives out your fortune or your future or your daily activity. And, well, she would manipulate the cards to where they always came out positive. And James would look at this and be like, all right. He'd be like, and he'd be happy. He'd go along with it, And she's like, wow, you won again. You're going to have a great day. He's like, oh, man, I'm going to be nice and happy and everything's going to go good. I don't have to beat you today. She's all,
mm-hmm. You stupid idiot.
Exactly. She's like, I'm not getting my jaw broken again.
Mm-hmm.
So, so we've talked about, serial killers that have gotten head injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Oh.
If they're going through all this and they keep getting like police involved and stuff, like do they serve time at all, or they just don't press charges?
There's no pressing of charges. The only time she went to jail was when she pulled a gun on that lady in Canton. That was it. And they had the kids complain to, or someone heard about it, and then they got the kids taken away for a little bit, but then the violence just went back to normal. So
wow,
the kids just started putting up with it and being like, whatever, it's just mom and dad.
Dang, that's sad.
Yeah, for real.
Yep. So they were in a 3-bedroom home in a nice area of San Ysidro, and everything was going good. And again, there's really no bedwetting, no head injuries at this time. So he's just regular old, fighting with his wife, James. They had a German Shepherd dog, and it barked a lot, and it ran around, and any kind of noise, it kind of just was pissing off the neighbors. So his neighbor kept complaining when he'd come home from work or in the morning and be like, man, James, can you shut your freaking dog up? I'm tired of hearing it. So James just let it roll off his shoulder over and over and over. Didn't say much. Just said, okay, I'll take care of it, neighbor. Hidely ho, I got you. So one day James wasn't having it, though. The neighbor came home and said, look, can you please shut your goddamn dog up? So James was like, all right. And he walked into his garage, pulled out his .22, and he put the gun to the dog's head and blew it away.
Dang.
Right in front of the neighbor, broad daylight.
Oh
Dang.
my god.
Yeah. And didn't flinch.
Dang.
Jesus.
No, I was just gonna say, he shut him up, but dang, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, and the neighbor right away said, I told you to shut the dog up, not kill it. Oh my God, what the hell did you do that for? And he's like, is he quiet? And he walked away.
Dang.
Yeah.
God.
So that was the only history outside of the beating of violence that he did anything to an animal. He just killed his own German Shepherd. The family dog. Boom, blew it away. Now he would have a motorcycle accident, but he was wearing his helmet. This, however, though, caused him in 1983 to have an issue with his arm. Now, back then, when you tear tendons or something like that, they didn't have the surgery to repair your arm. They don't have the stuff that they have today, or in the early late 90s to early 2000s to repair tendon damage. So, and especially you needed really good money and a really good doctor to even attempt something like that. So he apparently jacked up his nerve endings in his arm, and it would cause it to twitch. So being a welder and you have an unsteady arm, you're not going to keep...
not a good job.
No. So, and he could only stay on disability for so long. So basically he lost his good union job, and they couldn't afford the mortgage. So whatever money they had saved up, he's like, we're already close to Mexico. It's cheaper down there. So in early 1984, he moved his family to Tijuana.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Exactly.
Did he speak any Spanish?
That I don't know. But he was probably forced to do it. So
Yeah, probably.
yeah. But,
In TJ, though, you're going to find people that speak English.
yeah.
Oh.
There's actually a lot of white people down in Mexico.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that will cross the border to work and then go back home.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people speak English.
Oh.
Exactly. It's not as what you'd think it was maybe 20 years ago, even. But yeah, his family would stay down there for a few months, but then find it hard, and he couldn't find no really steady job. So a friend of his said, I have a security job up here, and he wound up moving back. They saved up a little money and they got a 3-bedroom apartment. So a couple months after that, he was doing security. Everything seemed to be going right, but then here's where we hit like just all sorts of problems. He got fired for reasons unspecified from the security job. So he was out. He's got a 3-bedroom apartment to pay, and he's not working. The wife Edna's just working a part-time job, so they're not going to really make it if this trend continues.
Yeah.
And he's getting more and more distant as he's frustrated. He's staying home on the couch watching TV, having a couple beers. He's not really making an attempt to get back to work because he feels useless. His arm is jacked up. He starts to complain about hearing voices, and the tarot cards aren't working anore. He's like, I'm wise to you, woman. And so
he was hearing voices. It was those tarot cards.
Could be. You never know. Could have brought some spirit. Yeah, Miss Cleo's like, call me number.
She was paying him a visit.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to call you. What are you talking to? Don't worry about it. So we're gonna have a day here, but it's not one that something actually happens, but it's close to. It's July 17th, 1984, just a day before everything went down. James would place a fateful call to a receptionist at a mental health center in the San Diego area. The receptionist would ask him a few questions because it was sort of like one of the first help lines, suicide help lines, or you're going through some issues, you need some advice, you want to talk to somebody, they have a psychiatrist or whatever, they'll call you back, doctors. It was early on in those type of deals. And he requests to talk to somebody. Now the receptionist did one critical thing, well actually two critical things. He kind of talked himself out of it, and she didn't take it as it's a real cry for help. Like, she felt that the way he was talking, that it was a problem, but not as bad of a problem to where he needed assistance right away. So she put on the note, she misspelled his name first off, and then she put on the note, call back at earliest convenience to one of the psychiatrists. So usually when there's an issue, they say call back ASAP, call back within 2 hours or whatever, right?
Yeah.
No, she did not. Because he called, I guess, early in the morning hours before they were open, so they had a 24-hour receptionist, and then when the psychiatrist or whatever come in, they're going to call him back. So, but she did tell him, we're gonna have someone call you back. So it felt really, he was feeling really emotional, really distraught, and he had feelings of, self-hurt and all this other stuff. So he actually, because again, this is before cell phones, 1984. He's sitting by the phone all damn day.
Dang.
All damn day.
So Dang. He waited and waited. He
waited all day till the hospital or whatever, the psychiatry place was closed at 6 o'clock. So you're talking, he made the phone call around 6, 7 in the morning, and then the place opened up at 9. They should have called him back before lunch, and he waited by the phone past dinner, and they never called him back.
Dang.
That might have triggered him.
Good.
Yep. So by this time in the evening, his wife kept, coming in and out of the house. The kids were around, and she said that he was mumbling to himself. He was getting more and more agitated as the day went on, and he just was really upset. And she tried talking to him, and he just didn't want any of it. So she said he slept on the couch that night, did not sleep in the bed with her, and woke up early the next morning on July 18th, 1984. This day would live in San Diego history and San Ysidro history till this day. In infamy, mostly San Ysidro. But it's weird because when I get into what happens, you're not going to believe that this is a story that you don't know about or you haven't heard about. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
It's crazy, trust me, because there's very little information about this story. Now, they did a documentary not too long ago on this, But there's, other than that, and maybe a handful of podcasts have gotten onto this one, there really isn't too much information on it. It's not even that much information on YouTube. So you have to search online to find what really happened that day, and I got most of what I could, so don't kill me if I don't have all the details.
You know they will.
Oh, they will. Especially on YouTube.
It wasn't that street, sir.
You misspelled his name. Okay, so James decided to rally the kids and his wife and say, "Hey, you know what? Let's have a date today." And he had some money left, and he took the family of 4 to the San Diego Zoo, which is a great zoo down there if you ever get a chance if you're in California. It's beautiful. And they went down there. They had a great time. They would stop by a local McDonald's that was only a few blocks from the apartment, so you could pretty much see their apartment from the McDonald's and vice versa. Okay. And back in those days, just like Chuck E. Cheese, you would have kids that would go there. The parents buy a birthday cake, and then they invite their friends, and then, you know, the other parents of the other kids can choose to buy cheeseburgers for their kids, or they bought cheeseburgers, and you have parties. You open up the gifts, and then you jump in the ball pit and slide down the slides, and you get your toys there too at McDonald's. So it was a good place to go back in the day and a good hangout. So that's what was taking place at the time. So there was this particular McDonald's in San Ysidro can hold up to about 50 to 55 people. And so it was a pretty big McDonald's. And so he has lunch there with the kids and everything, and or lunch or so. And he enjoys himself and everything. And then they get on their way, and they head for home. So end of story. No, just kidding.
I was about to say, what happened?
No, they get to the apartment, and about an hour or two goes by. And they've had the morning at the zoo, and they had the lunch and everything, and all of a sudden, she doesn't see. She's watching TV in the front room, being Edna, and she witnesses her husband walk right past her as she's sitting in the easy chair, and he has a 9mm Uzi semi-automatic gun, a pump-action 12-gauge shotgun, and a 9mm strapped to his hip.
What the heck?
Whoa.
What do you think she does? What do you think she does?
Knowing that she got a 9 on her, she probably puts her hand on her gun, ready for action.
Well, she didn't have it with her right now. She's watching TV.
Oh, okay. She's watching TV?
Wait, she saw him just come out like that, right?
Yeah, he came out of the hallway from the room with 3 guns.
I said she jumps up and try to see what he's doing.
I think she told him, "Move, you're blocking the TV."
That set him off.
I'll give Gabby a half point for that, because that's pretty damn close. I mean, she's like, "What are you doing, honey?" And he replied, "I'm hunting humans."
What the heck?
Now, according to her, when questioned later by police, that would mean in Canton, Ohio, that he's hunting gophers. He would shoot and kill gophers that would attack their yard. So
I'm hunting humans. That's what it is.
That's what he would call it. That was her excuse on why she did not even alert the local authorities or try to stop him as he left the house.
Dang.
Fame, fortune, greed, and all that jazz.
And now, I'm no one.
Chicago has been razzle-dazzling audiences for more than 25 years, and it's still the best show in town. Come on, babe. Head to Chicago. We're hotter than ever.
At the Hollywood Pantages Theater, March 5th through the 24th. Visit BroadwayInHollywood.com.
Yeah. And not just Edna dropped the ball on this one. The neighbors. There was some people washing their car outside. There was a couple people putting groceries away. And a couple nosy Karens looking outside their window as this middle-aged bald man came out of his house with guns, clearly on his person, and said nothing or did not call the police.
They're just like, eh.
Yeah, they were just like, whatever.
Shoot.
Yeah. So he went on his merrily way. And I'm going to tell you from right now, listener discretion is strongly advised.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Because, again, this is a case that should be known more than what it is, and it's just not. But it happened. And it is factual, unfortunately, in so many ways. Here we go.
Here we go.
James enters the McDonald's that he was with his family at just 2 hours prior. It is now 3:40 in the afternoon. James would walk up to the counter, and there was a person ahead of him ordering. As soon as that person pulled over to the side to wait for his food, there is about 40 to 45 people in this McDonald's, so it is packed.
Dang.
He pulls a shotgun from his hip and points it directly at the guy taking the order. Everyone gasps as he pulls the trigger, but it clicks. And there's a few people in there that think it's just a funny prank, or a prank that he knew the guy and he's just pranking the McDonald's staff. Because everyone freezes. You have a few like chuckles, but everyone's quiet. And then it kind of goes back when the gun clicks and he puts it down. He just fools with it real quick. The guy who's ordering the food just like shakes his head and says, "Okay, what do you want, sir?" Then out of nowhere, James points the gun at the roof, fires, and it goes off. Then it gets real.
Well, first of all, hold on. You already know where I'm going. If someone does that to me, they shoot a gun, I don't care if it's fake or not, whatever, and I hear a click and nothing happened, I'm charging that dude. Because I don't want, another opportunity for him to say, oh, okay, there was nothing in that chamber or something. I'm charging him. I'm not about to laugh and be like, yo, what are you doing? Why didn't they do that?
Well, I'm telling you the same thing, bro. Like I would do the same thing. The problem is, nowadays, that's probably everyone's like they stopped that Asian guy from killing more people there. Remember in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
He was at another place trying to kill more Chinese.
And that guy stepped in.
Yeah, the guy stepped in, took the gun. Now, that's today's world that we live in. This is right. 1984.
This is 1984. Yeah, you're right.
So,
okay. You're right.
No, you're right too. It's just the fact that you wish those people had that mentality back then.
Man.
I'm telling you, had someone stepped in and did what Matt was saying, or if Matt was there, if he could time travel and quantum leap, this tragedy would not take place. So immediately after the bullet goes into the ceiling, right away, James is yelling, "Get the F down, get under your tables, shut up." And he goes, else you're going to die. And he starts threatening people. And basically half of the staff runs to the back. The other half stays at the counter and is just like frozen. Everyone else starts crawling under tables, men, women, and children. So this is a very, very tense scene. And what happens is Nova Kane, I think, or Nova Kane. No, Nova Kane. It's not Nova Kane. Sorry. I think it's Nava. It's either an Indian name or a very, very Hispanic name that I can't pronounce. But she was 22 years old at the time and fresh off of her honeymoon trip that she took a week prior as McDonald's manager.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
She screamed for the employees to get under the table and not stand there. And I guess when she decided to do that, he pulled out his Uzi and shot a couple rounds into her, one of them going right into her eye. And one into her chest. And killing her instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. John then would go to John Miller, who was right next to him, the guy that he first pointed the shotgun at, and would shoot him twice in the shoulder and in the arm, and he would hit the ground and play dead. So John Miller went down. And as they did this, everyone in the freaking place now, if they had any opportunity or maybe they had any ideas of running, decided not to. And that's going to play into part two.
What?
Really, not that many people ran out.
What?
So they all stayed where they were. They were too scared But I mean, if you're killing people, you don't care. I mean, it's different if it's a hostage situation. But he's already proven he can shoot to kill. I mean, at this point, you're just like, oh, hell no, I got to get out of here. You know,
take my chances. Yep.
And that's what they should have did. But, you know, hindsight being what it is, and I'm not trashing the victims in this one, I just wish they had ran out. I really.
Yeah, for real.
He then proceeded to call them swine and Vietnam trash. Incredibly, none of them were Vietnamese or even Asian.
I was about to say, were they any Asians there or just?
No.
Wow.
So, yes, he just spouted stuff off, and he said that he was a veteran of the Vietnam War, and that he killed 1,000 people in his lifetime, and he'll kill 1,000 more if he has to. So as he actually talked for a couple minutes, and was, you know, going into some sort of banter, Victor Rivera, age 25, got up and said, "Please stop. Can we just talk about this? Can you let the women and children out, please? Like I'll stay." And, you know, James let him talk for about 30 seconds, but then he started yelling, "Shut up." And each time he said "shut up," he pumped a bullet into Rivera's body. He shot him 14 times.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then he stood over him as he took his last breath, like watching the life go right out of him. The place is stunned silent at this time. Stunned silent. Because, I mean, imagine seeing or hearing something like that. I mean, it's just it's crazy.
The people, the workers that ran out the back, there was no back door for them to run out from?
At this time, the McDonald's had 3 exits.
Mm-hmm.
The back, the restaurant did not have an it had an exit door in the back of the store, but it gave off an alarm, and also it was like he was keeping these people close. So like the woman, before she was shot to death, she had a Nova. She had the people go to or behind. Couple of them went in the freezer. The other ones stayed on the outside or behind it. They did not make a dash to leave the restaurant. Even if it set off an alarm, they didn't do it. He had a good eyesight of those people too. And he was in the middle of the dining area, which there was a door on his west side, his east side, and then there was the main door that came to the middle. So I
remember, not to cut you off, I remember the McDonald's when I was little, there was only 3 doors, the entrance and the 2 side doors.
Yeah. So he had a good view of everything. So if someone made a break for it, I mean, it should have been like people making a break on both sides or on all sides, and then he would have, you know, some unlucky people would have been hit on one of the doors, but the others would have got out. But that didn't happen. So now you heard is, after the silence, you heard some screaming, you heard some chattering and praying, and you just didn't want to be noticed by the shooter, survivors said after this. But after killing Rivera, he went to an adjacent table that was occupied by Maria Silva, 19 years old. She was shot point blank in the chest and died instantly. He took the shotgun and just blew her away. Then he pulled out a 9mm and shot 9-year-old Claudia Perez 4 times, twice in the chest and twice in the head, killing her instantly.
Oh, man.
Yep. During the shooting of the 9-year-old, the 15-year-old sister was shot in the hand, and Aurora Pena, that was 11 years old, was also shot. As James switched to a shotgun, he fired one into her leg, and he missed her head because her aunt, 18-year-old Jackie Reyes, who was 6 months pregnant, was trying to shield her and took one of the gunshots intended for the 11-year-old.
Dang.
Yep. So pissed off that the sister who was pregnant was shielding her sister, he switched to an Uzi and unloaded the entire clip into her body.
Oh, dang.
Pregnant.
Killing her, and obviously in her unborn child. Now, if that's not hard to stomach, this one's a little bit more harder to stomach. She had an 8-month-old that was sitting in a high chair.
Oh, no.
The bullets that were raining down on her mom freaked out the 8-month-old.
She started screaming.
She started screaming, and imagine the fear and you can't do anything, or you're too scared to do anything. But this kind of atrocities are happening right in front of you. You're praying that the 8-month-old can be quiet and he could not focus on the 8-month-old, but he focuses on the 8-month-old, and the bastard took out his 9mm and put 2 to the head, killing the 8-month-old.
All right. Yeah, man.
That child never knew life, pretty much.
Nope. Now blood is covering the McDonald's floor at this point.
They don't have cell phones at this time either.
No cell phones. No. It was 84. You don't even have those big, tumor phones. You don't have nothing.
But neighboring, like, buildings, like, nothing around, nobody can hear all this?
No, I'm glad I'm gonna get to that. But remember, this is in the first few minutes of this thing taking off. And there's going to be some stuff that's going to go down that changes how we approached these kind of shootings years in advance and later on, because some of this will really piss you off.
All right.
So, unfortunately, again, even with all this carnage, no one tried to make a freaking
exit.
Yeah, beeline. And he's moving kind of quick. This isn't like, he's taking minutes in between killings. He's doing this all at once, or as soon as he finishes off one person, he's moving to the next. And he came down to 62-year-old Lawrence Herman Gus Forellis. Lawrence was just 1 week away from retirement. James shot him in the head, killing him instantly. Then James looked around the play area, and as James appeared to go into the play area, he found some people huddling behind the play set. And it was the Herrera family. Blythe Herrera, the husband, Blythe Herrera, the mother, the husband Arnold, their son Mateo, and his friend Keith. Ronald, the father, was shot in the chest, arm, back, and head. And Keith, he was shielding Keith with his body. Keith was shot in the wrist and shoulder. But Blythe, his wife, and her son Mateo, their son Mateo, were shot multiple times in the head and died instantly.
Damn.
Somehow,
when he went into the play area, nobody then reacted, like, stay low and get out the door?
Everyone stayed huddled.
It's either flight or fight, and they chose fright. I mean, I'm not condemning them or anything like that, but it's just the whole restaurant was just shield and terror. It's just, dang.
They stayed in place. Nobody made a beeline for it, unfortunately. That was what's so frustrating about this, because you really wish people would have.
I do.
Yeah. Now, what happened next is, after he shoots the family of 4, he goes over to another group that was in the play area, 24-year-old Guadalupe Del Rio, and her 2 friends, Gloria Ramirez, 23, and 31-year-old Ares Delcy Vargas. Bess, I think. Guadalupe was shot, but not hit anywhere serious, because she was being shielded by Gloria and Eros, but she sustained non-life-threatening gunshots. But Ares Delcy was not so lucky. She was shot multiple times in the back and the head, and she actually hung on for hours in that state through the whole situation and into her making it to the hospital, but she would die at the hospital later. So as he would leave the play area, however, Keith, the friend of Mateo, from the Herreras, would drag the father through one of the doors somehow and not was seen. So those 2 got out to where an off-duty police officer had heard gunshots and came over and would drag the 2 into the post office, which was just next door to McDonald's. So now you have a police officer that is seeing something's going on. They're telling him that people are getting shot to death. This guy is not doing ransom. He's just killing people for the fun of it. As this is going on, James takes a little break, as you do, because you're tired from killing people. He starts...
for James.
Yeah, he starts sipping on sodas, eating French fries of those that are dead, or, they're still huddling under the table. he would pull out a little battery operated radio and turn it on to some music and just start dancing and start taunting the bodies of the victims.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
What do you mean by taunting?
Shouting obscenities, saying racial things, and also just laughing at the people dead.
Oh my God.
And then he would pull out his Uzi and start basically, and I don't know what they made their windows out of back then, but they weren't shattering all the way. So he was shooting out the windows, but they were just leaving bullet holes and kind of leaving spider webs to where you couldn't really see out or in. And that would play a big part later on. So he's shooting at the windows. He's not shattering them completely. So while all this craziness is going on, the off-duty officer Miguel Rosario calls into his agency and says, dude, we're having a mass shooting down here at the McDonald's. You got to get down here. There's multiple victims. There's a shooter inside, active shooter. Please come down, blah, blah, call everybody. I've got 2 bloody victims here. We need medical attention. Like he's like, hey man, calling the army, calling whoever you got, bring them down here. And so the 911 operator, who was located in San Diego, not San Ysidro, which is not in the same town. Guess what this operator does?
Oh Lord, I guess she sends them to San Diego McDonald's or something.
Gab?
She thinks it's a joke.
No, she actually takes it serious. Matt gets the point in this one. She sends them to a different McDonald's.
Oh dear.
So basically you send the resources from San Diego, because it's like it's a 5-alarm fire basically for police. They're all hands on deck. Multiple SWAT team units, cops, everybody are all going to go down to the wrong McDonald's, set up a perimeter in the wrong city 2 miles over. So they go over there.
Valuable time lost.
Exactly. So again, this is only about 3 or 4 minutes into the shooting, and the cops are headed the wrong way. And so that's mistake number 1. And then the mistake number 2 is they have a Johnson that he walks in there. Once he finds out, we're at the wrong McDonald's. He's like, well, hold on a second. I might as well make an order since I'm here. Can I get one of those fandangled Shamrock shakes?
We gotta fire him.
And the McDonald's person's like, look, the Shamrock shakes are a seasonal thing. We don't have them right now. Okay. Don't have to be all pissy about it. How about one of those McRibs? And they're like, sir, again, we don't have those right now in season. Oh, hell, shucks. All right, let's go to the other one. So they all take off. That's not really what happened. I'm just adding that, by the way.
I know.
So they head from that situation 2 miles. Now they have to race back the other way. And there's a whole 10 minutes lost in between. So
when he's going from one person to the next.
Yeah. So he starts getting back to shooting people, because had they gotten there, maybe some of this stuff wouldn't have happened. But as he's taking a break and he was shooting out windows, Lydia Flores pulls up through the drive-thru and looks in and sees an active shooter. He takes aim at her car, and she hits reverse, floors it, and crashes into 2 cars. Luckily, she gets out as bullets were raining around her. He missed her. And she got away. And she had a little 9-year-old daughter with her, and they ran to the parking lot. So now people on the outside are huddling behind cars because bullets are flying. And still, again, there's 3 sides to this McDonald's. Gunshots raining down, windows broken. Unfortunately, this does not stop people from still trying to get into the McDonald's.
Oh, dear.
What?
Yeah.
Here's my question. Does the off-duty cop tries to intervene?
He can't, because at this time he's on the phone with superiors, and he's also tending to the wounded. He's waiting for fire and ambulance to get there as well.
Got it.
And he's wondering why the hell is it taking so friggin' long? Because the Herrera father, he survives with a gunshot wound in the head. Yeah, it's only because the police officer was taking care of him. Well, he stopped the bleeding. And so, yeah, it's just mass carnage at this point, because he's only one officer. And then the rest are just citizens trying to hunker down, not get shot. But despite this, Felix And his family of 3, his 3-year-old daughter approached the McDonald's from the outside. His Felix thinks that there was just some sort of damage in the McDonald's, and there's nothing, I guess the gunshots weren't, this was probably when he approached when James was taking a break. They parked their vehicle, walked out at the same time, and James saw him and started firing. He hit all 3 of them.
Oh man.
He hit all 3 of them. James hit the father in the head. He hit the wife several times. He hit the baby. However, thinking he was dying, Felix handed over the baby to a woman that was hunkered down behind a car and said, "Please take my daughter to the hospital." And he said, "I'm not going to make it." And he kind of passed out. His wife was on the ground next to him, and she took the baby and took the baby to the hospital. Luckily, some good Samaritans would pick up Felix and his wife, drag them to safety, and then also take them to the hospital. All 3 would survive.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Even with the terrible gunshot wounds, all 3 would survive. The baby had no issues growing up. Fortunately, the only tragic part of their family, the trauma, and the wife lost eyesight to her right eye, and she lost also feeling to one of her arms. So yeah, so she suffered with that. So yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, there's a lot of carnage in this. We keep moving on, and at the same time, 3 boys on bikes rode up to the McDonald's wanting just to get some ice cream, because it's July, and it's time for them to they want to get some ice cream and cool off, and they pull up on their bikes, and as they're coming by the east door, James opens fire. And these kids are 11 years old, all 3 of them. And the gunshots rains out. He hits Omar Hernandez, Joshua Coleman, and David Flores on their bikes. 11-year-old Omar was hit, and he went down. Flores was hit as well. Joshua was hit in the stomach and was forced to sit laying by his bike for over an hour. So he laid playing dead in front of the McDonald's for over an hour.
Damn.
He watched his friend David die within the first minute, noting that his chest stopped going up and down. And then here's the worst part. He heard his other friend Omar, 11 years old, begin to scream for his mother. And then 5 minutes later, he was trying to keep him talking and trying to keep him calm and telling him to be quiet. He began to vomit blood, and then he just looked right into his eyes, David's eyes, and Omar took his last breath. Yeah, that was. Now, on the other side of the store, again, people keep coming up. A 69-year-old Alda Velasquez Victoria and her husband Miguel Victoria, 74, approached the McDonald's. James shot the 69-year-old point blank in the face with a shotgun. She dropped to the ground immediately. The husband came over, Miguel, and just began, just in shock, sort of like if she had something on her face and he's trying to wipe it off, was trying to wipe the blood that was streaming and pouring out of her head. At the same time, he looks back up at James and says, "F you," in Spanish, and starts cussing him out, to where James cold-bloodedly shoots him in the head, killing him instantly.
So he killed them both.
Killed them both. Yeah.
This guy's a monster.
So I lost count, but he's up to at least 12.
Yeah, I'll get to the final numbers, but
okay.
Yeah. But right now, I mean, this is a bloodbath beyond belief.
So he's just he's just spraying.
Yeah. And right now, you would think that this feels like 45 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is just 10 to 12 minutes into it.
Man.
God.
So, Unfortunately, like I said, this story is called 77 minutes. So you do the math.
This went over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, that's what I was
17
thinking. When you
minutes.
said the boy played dead for over an hour. It's like, well, where is the police?
Well, the police would get there 10 minutes later, which was about roughly, from what they said, 15 minutes into the carnage. So they get there about this time when finally the older couple were shot. 175 police officers, including SWAT team, finally emerged to cordon off the whole area, do a perimeter, and move in and surround the McDonald's.
About time.
However, 15 to 30 minutes of the initial time that they're on scene, they're arguing with each other.
Oh, dear.
Who's in charge? SWAT team's like, hey, I'm in charge. I got all the weapons and I got the gear and everything. And the cops are like, we were here first. And it's like,
are you serious?
Yes, they start arguing and they start.
Lives are at stake and they're worrying about who is the boss.
Yep.
Screw all that. Just rush in there. You got 175 strong. He can't just rush them.
I mean, they had shields back then too, so it's not like they didn't have shields.
Yes.
You know,
just go in there.
Yeah, we'll take, you know, because at least if anything, they'll draw the fire, and they could have other people realize, okay, well, there's where the gun's coming from. Shoot at it, you know. But they choose not to. And when the cops get on scene, as they're busy arguing for the first 15 minutes, James gets the idea to shoot outside the windows and start shooting at the cops. So now they're not only arguing with each other, they're trying to get cover at the same time. So all hell is still breaking loose. He has endless amounts of firepower, it seems. Guys like the off-duty police officer Rosario are screaming at the other cops to do something. Stop, you know, dicking around. And, you know, they're strategizing on how to do this. And they're still outside while people are dying inside or on the outside. And, you know, the survivors were just wondering what the hell is going on, what is taking so damn long. And all the while, James is in there still creating carnage because he's shooting outside, you know, and then when he sees that the cops are ducking down, at some point goes into the kitchen area where he hadn't explored yet. And he finds 6 of the workers huddled next to the freezer.
Oh, man.
Out of range. And he would tell them to stand up to where Margarita Padilla, 19-year-old, she screamed for her life in Spanish, and I was just wishing she would stay quiet. He shot her several times. He killed her, and then Pauline and Quino Lopez, 21 years old, tried to make a run for the door. He shot her, killed her. 19-year-old co-worker Elsa Hernandez Fierro, who was with Aquino trying to flee, she was shot to death as well. But the other 3 co-workers managed to make it outside the back door.
Jeez.
Why didn't they leave?
That's what I was saying.
They had all this time.
Why didn't they run out the back when he went into the play area?
I don't know. That's one of the frustrating things, you know.
Like, if you're gonna try and make a run for it, do it then, because he's clearly not gonna stop killing people.
He's just gonna keep doing it, keep firing.
I mean, some people just go into sudden shock
to make you freeze,
to where you just don't think, you know, you freeze.
I mean, it's hard to realize if we were in that situation, we'd do the same thing. Maybe we'd freeze, maybe we'd make a run for it, maybe we'd do a hero thing like Matt. It's hard to say, but like hindsight being what it is, like, damn, why didn't you guys just run? You know, like he couldn't have got all of you.
True.
It's just, it's so sad. It is really sad.
It is.
But nearly an hour into the situation, you know, like he's shooting at, you know, pictures of the Hamburglar on the wall, soda machines, just everything. At this time, finally, the SWAT team comes up with an idea to put snipers on the adjacent roofs, and they now give out the call that if you get a clear shot, take it. Take this bastard out right away. And then they're like, we can't, again, putting snipers on the buildings should have been their first thing they did. And second, they should have then either rammed the goddamn McDonald's with something or sent officers in, you know, with shields and all that. But they did not do that. They were planning to, but they couldn't realize or make the decision when to do it.
Immediately.
At this point, there was no right time. Like, just do it.
Yep. Now, going back to one of the girls, the young 9-year-old that was shot, she was playing dead. She had been shot in the shoulder and the hand. She was shielded by her aunt that was shot 48 times by that Uzi. He unloaded the clip.
48?
That's crazy. He must have had multiple clips and multiple ammunitions.
He did. He had a duffel bag full of ammunition.
No wonder.
So she's been sitting there lying in blood. So the moment she hears it quiet for a second, she decided to open her eyes. And as she opened her eyes, James was looking right down at her.
Oh, no.
He pointed a shotgun at her, and he shot her twice. Once in the shoulder and once in the face, detaching her jaw from her face. She was not dead.
What?
She was the only one that had remained in the McDonald's that had been shot to survive.
What? The 9-year-old?
Yeah, she survived being shot 4 times, once right in the face.
Wow.
Yeah. Then Jose Perez, one of the workers that was shot earlier and wounded behind the one of the workers, he began to move a little bit, and he was probably going to make it, but he moaned. Unfortunately, James heard that, and he went over to him and finished him off. Later,
he's
survived. Yeah, he's a terrible person. I mean, if there is a hell, that dude should be rotting. Survivors would say that with all the carnage in the McDonald's, picture this, there was a good 1 to 2 inches of blood that was on the floor from all the wounded or dead.
Covered the floor.
Covered the floor, yes.
Gosh.
Fire trucks were showing up at this point because they knew they had mass casualties, and he began shooting at the firefighters. So the SWAT started, they wanted to return fire, but they didn't know where the people were. They couldn't see through the damn windows. They didn't want to hit any innocent civilians.
Exactly.
They should have damn stormed the place.
Stormed the place. You got 175 strong.
But finally, at 5:05 p.m., a SWAT team member was on the top of the Charles Foster was on top of the post office, and he was looking through the east window, and James was shooting and laughing outside. He finally broke and shattered a window that just fell to pieces, because I don't know if it was plexiglass or whatever, but that glass was not shattering. It had just spiderweb with each gunshot. But he finally shot the glass to where it gave way, and it was a clear shot, and Charles wasted no time. He put a gunshot wound into dude's chest. With the power of the bullet, it was a through and through shot through his aorta, severing it automatically. Like, he blew his heart up.
Jeez.
It left a hole that they said they could shine a flashlight through his chest, and it would go out his back.
Good.
Yeah, he put him down right away. It's just a wish that this guy, he was thrown 5 feet back after he was hit too. So he that bullet just, man.
Dang, it blew him back.
It blew him back, dude. So he was dead right away. Then right away, everyone rushed in there, and police, fire department, and SWAT team members were just appalled at what they saw, and they could not believe the damage that was in there.
Well, their dumbasses could have made it less if they had reacted when they should have.
Yep. So the thing that would happen with this is 911 system was completely revamped. More guidelines, more information, had the way they talked to people, because apparently she wasn't clear on the information that Rosario, the off-duty officer, had given her. So there were sweeping reforms to the 911 situation. SWAT team members now, the whole Los Angeles and San Diego counties would change the way that they worked with their SWAT team, meaning that if it was a hostage situation, a shooting situation, the cops were automatically to give up the control to the SWAT team. and because of the arguments, so the police had to get reformed. The SWAT team was also taught that they could not stand by and let things happen. If they had an active shooter, they had to go in right away, or get as much information as possible in as fast time as possible, because local city lawmakers and the people in the community were so pissed that so many people lost their lives. They felt that half of the carnage could have been prevented or more.
Absolutely.
So this brought all kinds of lawsuits against the city, against the police department, against McDonald's, against everything that was tied.
Why McDonald's?
You'll see in a minute.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen the movie The Founder.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, the founder of McDonald's, who basically stole the company from the McDonald's brothers.
Mm-hmm. Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton. Not Michael
I'm
Keaton.
sorry, not him, but
the guy he played.
The guy he played, yeah.
Yeah, the founder had died at this point, but his wife was still in control of McDonald's. She felt so bad that she would pay for everyone's funeral expenses of all the family members, so that they wouldn't have to take on the responsibility of burying their dead. McDonald's took care of it. However, there was some controversy which got her sued and her corporation, because she would then pay for James's funeral. The shooter.
What?
Yes.
What?
I don't know how that happened, but his Aetna got the money to pay for James's funeral.
Yeah, man, no. He didn't even deserve a funeral. I'm sorry.
Yep. So all in
I'm
all,
not gonna lie. If I was one of them SWAT person, I probably would have unloaded a clip on his dead body. I'm sorry.
yeah, he got it pretty easy if you think about it.
Yeah, he died. He died before he hit the ground.
Yep. I mean, that bullet it ripped his heart in pieces and left a hole. I mean, he had no chance.
Yeah.
So, but I'm assured that he was probably banking on that. I don't think he was going to come back living after that. So he knew he was going to go out. But 21 people would lose their lives, including the unborn child. So that would make 22. But technically, people count 21. 19 were wounded. Now, what do you think happens to that McDonald's?
I say well, what should have happened is they tear it down so that other people won't be traumatized when they go in there again.
Gabby?
Yeah, I agree. That's what should have happened, but I feel that they closed it off, repaired it as fast as they could, and reopened.
You both are.
What she said.
Well, Renee, you guys are both right.
You know what, man? I didn't mean it in that term.
You insinuated, my friend. You insinuated.
Yeah, you were disrespectful.
I didn't take nothing.
He's like, hey, wait, he said his name. But you guys are both right. And Gabby especially, because it took them 2 days to then start on cleaning up the blood and refurbishing the McDonald's to where in a week it was ready to reopen.
What?
Stupid, man. Stupid.
But why though, man? Nobody wants to go there again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a story that at the time in 1984 would make national headlines. So people were getting interviewed. This was a huge story because at the time in 1984, this was the deadliest mass shooting. Now, again, we've had mass shootings like every week. It seems there's something going on here.
Seriously.
Yeah, and it's really sad. It's become a way of life. Unfortunately, you don't know if you're going to the car wash for the last time, or to Home Depot, or your kids are going to school. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But this was so random and just not a thing. This is 84. This is before Columbine. This is about what? How many years before Columbine? I think Columbine was 96 or something like that.
97?
It's somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
So you're almost a whole decade, or over a decade later before this started to become a thing. So, yeah, this was crazy. And so they're getting ready to have a whole new opening for the renovated McDonald's. And the community leaders and the family members are just picketing outside of the McDonald's. They're trying to get news coverage. The news gets a hold of it. And all of a sudden, McDonald's is public enemy number one. And they decide, okay, we're going to tear down the McDonald's. We're even going to tear up the concrete. We don't want any trace of this place. And they also say we're not going to advertise in the San Diego area for a month because anything McDonald's right now is just, it's not going to go over well. So they decide to do all that. And then the owner says, you know what? If you guys, we'll donate the land to the community and you guys can have it. But if you guys erect a monument, you cannot put McDonald's on the monument. You can list the casualties and the people involved, but there cannot be any golden arches. That's the only thing that will break our deal with you giving you the land. So that's what
it's like, do your thing, pay your respects, do your monument, don't involve us. We got nothing to do with it.
Pretty much. We washed our hands of it.
Wow.
Yeah, so good old McDonald's. What it is today, if you go to that area in San Ysidro, there are 21 pillars. And, they're not big pillars, but there's a monument in front of it, and it represents each life that was lost, has the name of the person on it. And it's in front of now the local community college purchased the land from the city, and they have a dorm room there, but in front of the dorm room is the monument. And it's kind of classy. It looks kind of classy. But it does not have any mention of McDonald's in any way on it. And as I wrap up the story, there's a last bit of information about the massacre. Etna would sue McDonald's for $5 million. James's estranged wife. She blamed it on what? What do you think she sues McDonald's for?
Their food.
The Happy Meals, the Big Mac, the Quarter Pounder, and the fries.
You guys are on it, man. It was actually the chicken nuggets.
Not to mention that.
She said, is just like clearly you just trying to get money out of something so stupid.
Yeah, she sued for $5 million, Gabby, for, I guess she must have...
it was denied.
Yeah, she must have found out that they make that pink slime. If you ever want to YouTube how they make chicken nuggets, look at the pink slime that they turn into chicken nuggets. That might turn you away from eating chicken nuggets, but she said that they warped his mind, and then she also would file a $7 million lawsuit to the welding company and union because she said the inhaled shavings from the metal that he did also played tricks on his mind, which caused
like asbestos,
something like that. She tried getting $12 million between the two, and surprise, the lawsuits were both thrown out of court.
Of course,
because they were pretty much had no basis whatsoever. And I think the worst thing that she could have did to, as a wife, besides not stopping him, was allowing her kids to go to school with some of the victims or the ones, because her daughter still went to school and stayed in the San Ysidro area, and I believe they were either elementary or junior high at the time, but they had to play out their junior high and high school years with either family members in those schools that lost their lives to their father, or there was victims that would have been going to school with them that did not make it because of their father. So they had to endure their school years.
And that's sad because it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
But I get the retaliation from the victim's family. I get it. But it had nothing to do with them. They had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, this was all in this twisted, sick mind of that man's.
Basically, yeah. And again, she tried to bring up the idea, Etna, of the fact that, he was just, she didn't know hunting humans didn't mean gophers, but he hadn't hunted humans, quote unquote, since they were in Canton. And he's bringing out some pretty big weapons to shoot at gophers. And especially, I could see in Canton, Ohio, where you have like a farm or you have a big yard with a house and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in an apartment complex in an overcrowded San Ysidro area. There's no gophers.
There ain't no gophers over here.
Yeah. So, at this point, she's still alive, but off the grid. The daughters are off the grid as well.
I would be. I would never want to recognize that was my father.
And one of the daughters would come out saying later on, I think it was in the documentary, that she actually could hear gunshots and she saw the police getting to the McDonald's eventually outside their window of the apartment, because it was like an upstairs apartment. So yeah, that's the last bit on that story, but that is the 77 minutes of hell.
I'm surprised that he was that twisted and didn't kill his wife.
That's what
he always had the issues with.
That's what I was gonna say, because when you said that he walked by her when she was on the couch, I honestly thought he was gonna turn around and shoot her point blank.
I thought he was gonna kill his family first.
I did too. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what
that shouldn't be 77 minutes though.
No, I'm relieved he didn't do that. Obviously, his daughter didn't deserve that. It's just like his problems were in his family, mainly the wife, and then the job. I thought he would retaliate against the job, but why a McDonald's?
Chicken nuggets.
He must have seen when they were there earlier that there was a lot of people there, or he might have scoped it out. I don't know. I mean, we'll never know.
Was like bitter that these people were there happy celebrating and he was miserable?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, why pick the McDonald's?
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be angry at life and do something, aren't you going to be angry at those who caused you to be so miserable, according to you?
I think you probably nailed it with that one. You know, seeing other people happy and jolly and having a good time may have triggered him to say, you know, these people don't deserve it. You know, I lost my job. I can't use my arm. My family is blah, blah, blah. So I want them to
How did he manage to kill that many people with his stupid arm?
I mean, when you got a Uzi clip and a shotgun, you know, that's instant kills right there.
Yeah, and these people aren't exactly trying to move out of the way either.
Exactly. They're just sitting, you know, a sitting target, you know, so.
Oh, man.
That sucks, man.
See, this is why I believe, like, I don't agree with people trying to I guess to an extent, like, you want to eliminate weapons, you want to eliminate guns because they're a danger. Yes, they are, and a lot of people use it in a very horrible way. But then you have those who just want to have it because maybe they enjoy, like, as a sport, out shooting. I like it. I'm one of those people that like to go shooting, like, at a target, you know? I enjoy doing that, learning about that. But not in my mind, it's not like, oh, I want this so I can, you know, whoever pisses me off, I'm get rid of them.
Yeah.
A lot of people have it to defend their household, like in case of an emergency. But here's the thing. If there weren't weapons to begin with, like, who would need to defend themselves from them? So you wouldn't really need them.
Mm-hmm.
It's
hard.
Yeah, because it's such a gray area, you know, with weapons in general. Like, a lot of people are like, well, you know, you should only be able to have like a 6-shooter or a 9mm or less, or 22. You know, you shouldn't have anything bigger. But if you're going to a shooting range, why can't you just shoot off an Uzi or, you know, shoot off a big weapon? Because it is a hobby too. You know, people outside of America really don't understand, you know, this country was founded on guns and violence.
Pretty much.
So like, people grow up around guns. I mean, you have to protect yourself, you know, living in the rural areas. People hunt with that kind of stuff. Like Gabby says, you know, they shoot. I mean, a big thing in America is paintballing and you know, the what is it called? The airsoft. So those are like, you know, semi-automatic weapons, and then people graduate from those to the real thing. So it becomes a part of your heritage, part of your family. You know, people, you know, it's not just, you know, like Gabby, she's a wife and a mother. She likes shooting guns. I mean, there's grandpas that do it. There's, you know, young kids that do it. It's just a gray area, you know. So like recently, because of all the mass shootings, you know, the problem is the guns getting into the wrong people's hands.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Because you've had, for the most part, you know, people are pretty responsible with their weapons. Now, accidents happen. You hear about, you know, kids getting into a gun, shooting a sibling or a parent or themselves by accident because the parent didn't hide the gun or didn't lock the gun or whatever. There's stuff that's always going to happen like that. But as far as mass shootings, you always look at, you know, hey, man, this person showed this kind of crap. Why did they get a gun? How did they get a gun? You know, so
I really think there has to be like a stricter enforcement on that. Like, if you want to have a weapon, in order to have the permit to have it, you should be psychologically evaluated. It shouldn't just be let me do a paper test and you pass that because you have a knowledge on guns, then you get a permit.
I agree.
Any psycho can have a knowledge on guns.
But if you notice, not to cut you off, I agree with you 100%. But if you notice, most mass shooting happens where they feel that there won't be anyone there to defend themselves. You figure, a nightclub, or just at the last one, there was the one over here in LA, over there in the downtown Chinatown. Mm-hmm. I think it was like a party. Ain't nobody really carrying a gun at a little party or something like that with elderly people. Just McDonald's. No one's thinking of carrying a gun at McDonald's. It's, supposed to be a happy place. So I think a lot of time mass shooters are cowards, and this guy for sure was. So I feel like if everyone had a license, or not everyone, but those who have a license should carry it all time, because they could stop something like that from happening. If there was just one person in that McDonald's at the time that had a gun, maybe, he doesn't kill as many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing. It was a different time. And, you just don't see that back then. But nowadays, like you said, like you guys have been saying, like these people can get, if the government knows exactly when your registration's up, when, your taxes are due, when you're late on things. There should be a system for this as well. They should know that, hey man, 3 years is coming up. You should go in for a psychiatric evaluation. Like,
yes.
Have you had any road rage incidents? Have you had any, check all those things.
Yeah, if their mental state's not there, I mean, dude, okay, confiscate the guns.
Yep.
I have no problem with that. I'm all for people's rights. But then again, it's the same if you're starting to beat your wife and you're showing tendencies that you're escalating stuff. Yeah, there should be some intervention by local enforcement. So I'm that way with guns, because you can prevent something if you have that kind of, or if, how many times have we've done stories too where people have gone on Facebook or Instagram and wrote some cryptic crap.
Yep.
And then people are like, "Oh man, I didn't think he was serious." Well, speak up, stupid. You could have stopped something.
Yeah.
People are if they're not going to show displays of emotion, they usually go on social media too and write some pretty crappy stuff. And if someone's paying attention,
you could see when someone's going through something mental. Absolutely.
Yep.
They put it out there.
And even if they don't post something, like they physically don't type something out, just watch their post of what they may share. They might share a video of someone, crying out for help, and there's a quote or something, what I'm saying? They share that a lot. That to me even is a sign for help. They might not physically tell you I need help, but if they're sharing videos from others, they're hinting. That's a hint.
There was a serial killer they just busted last month that he wrote something on Facebook about there's a special place in hell. It's called a throne, and he's not sad for what he just did. And it was on a date when a woman went missing. He ratted on himself, and then they busted him for 2 other killings that he did prior to that. So, when the cops, someone spoke up, and he was caught because of that.
Yeah.
Good.
So, that's what sometimes it takes. But
sometimes it's good to be a Karen.
Yes, it's not always great.
It's not always great.
Freaking annoying, but in circumstances like that, open your freaking mouth and tell people so that no others can lose their life. But some people, a lot of people are so stupid that they encourage it. Mm-hmm. Their comments just encourage the person rather than stopping or diffusing the situation.
Fight the system, man. Don't let them hold you down. Yeah, go away.
Then someone's trolling, you tell them, man. They're laughing, whatever. And then they find out something happens. I didn't think he was going to do it.
Yep.
So, yeah, but that's unfortunately the story. 77 minutes of hell at a McDonald's.
So it took over an hour and 17 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Well, that's unfortunate for all the victims there. And thank you, Todd, for breaking down that story.
I'll just say
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, my last thing was I can't get over when I was doing the research of 1 inch to 2 inches of freaking blood sitting on the floor.
Ooh,
that really, yeah.
That's like when Moses, when they turned the water, the Red Sea into blood. Like that's what I could imagine. You know, just them walking on a pool of blood.
Yep.
You know, that's crazy. But my last thing was, please, man, you know, if you got an opportunity, just run out the door. I'm not saying fight the guy, but just if you got an opportunity to save yourself and save others and save your family, take it. You know, I know it's scary and I know you might freeze up, but you know, it could be your last opportunity. You know, so if you got one small gap of window opportunity to leave in a situation where it's life or death, take it. That's my last thing.
I agree.
So, any final words, Gab?
No, I'm mad. I hate how easy he went out, and I wish they had reacted earlier, but they deserve the lawsuits. They deserve whatever they had to pay because that was wrong. Worrying about your stupid ass. Who's the boss? I got here first. Like, shut the hell up.
Just run in there.
Do your job and go in there and save people.
I'm sorry if I'm on that SWAT team and I'm 176 strong. I'm getting me and one of my closest partner who's in that, you know, on the team's like, hey, bro, y'all figure that out later. We got people to save and run up in there. I'm just built different. I'm sorry, but I'm quite sure me, Todd, even Gabby Gab would have when they're like, hey, let's go. We got things to do and just run up there. We got riot shields, like you said. Use them for a reason.
Yeah, I mean they could have drawn the fire because their biggest thing was we can't see where he's shooting from because the windows are all shattered or he's tried to barricade stuff up. He's staying behind walls.
And I get that.
Yeah, I get that too. But I mean, if you see, you know, the bullets flying out of a certain window, hell, shoot right back. You know,
shoot back.
You already know. You already know it's one person.
Exactly, and everyone is bunkered down. In a situation like that, he already told you get down under the table. People are down. Nobody's standing up. So except for the shooter. So just aim. You know, even if you can't see, if someone's not just spray and go. What I'm saying is, if someone's shooting out the window, obviously you know it's the not victim, but the suspect. Shoot back at that window.
At least a couple bullets, something.
Keep a couple of bullets. Keep him honest. And if it's 175 of y'all, he can't shoot.
I don't know if it's stupid how I think, but here's the way I think. If I'm a victim and I'm in there and I'm huddled and I want somebody to come and do something, like at this point I'm not worried about the cops shooting at random and me possibly getting hit. This guy's gonna kill me anyway. Right here, right in my face.
That's true.
I'd rather take the chance of maybe getting a bullet by accident, by them killing him and stopping him and saving everyone else, than you waiting for the right moment to see him so you can do something.
Yep.
I'll take my chances. Like, at that point, I'm dead anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not many options you have right there, basically.
But, I mean, yeah, fear can, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Being in that situation, if I would have frozen, or what would I do with my kids? Like, that would be horrible. I don't know how I'd react.
Well, like I tell Gabby all the time, if anything happens when we're out in the public and we're with the kids, I always tell her, hey, y'all flight, y'all leave. I can handle myself. I'm not saying I'm big badass or anything like that, but if I'm dead, I'd rather just be me. You know what I'm saying? If I can get out of the situation, I'll figure it out. I'll try to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've already told her, get in the car, leave me alone. Don't worry about me. You're good.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm quite sure you say the same thing with you, Todd. You know.
Oh yeah, women and children first. If I got to make a beeline to try to take the person out or, you know, distract them, it's going to suck for you, you know, yourself. But man, if you know that you could buy time for somebody else, because I'm pretty sure if someone had just jumped them or had an opportunity, because we don't know if they had a clear opportunity or not. But if someone had a clear opportunity and they were able to at least wrestle him to the ground, even if they lost the fight, I'm pretty sure most of those people would have gotten up and ran for the exits.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure.
You know, at least most of them. And then you wouldn't have the tragedies of losing all those kids and losing those teenagers.
It's just a really tough situation to be in because you're also focused on shielding your children.
Yeah.
So it's like you getting up and trying something might give the opening for him to just kill your whole family. So it's just a tough spot to be in.
Yeah. And
I
we're
think
not.
the stupidness here was from the cops, was from the SWAT. Everybody
Oh yeah.
screwed up.
Yeah.
It's starting with that stupid
Yeah.
operator.
No blaming the victim whatsoever on our banter right now. We're just sad that no one ran out. That's all.
Yeah, like I said, there was lawsuits that we don't know the money that went to the families, if they got any, how much they got, if they did. All that was kept behind closed doors, but we do know that there was a lot of reform to the police, the 911 operator system, and the SWAT team. I mean, local government did step in a lot to try to change things because they didn't want a repeat of this, and just because it looked bad. I mean, obviously it was a terrible situation, but when you have, like Matt said, 175 strong, something should have happened. There's no excuse for it to take that long.
I agree.
So.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Todd Fox, for breaking down that unfortunate story, and thank you, listeners, for listening in to another episode.